eye-opening narcissist text. Messages and how to respond. Do you ever feel confused, hurt, or manipulated after texting with someone in your life? Do they idealize you one moment and devalue you the next? Do they ignore direct questions and make conversations all about them? If so, you may be dealing with a narcissist. In this video, I'm going to open your eyes to the dangerous games narcissists play through their texting habits. You'll learn to spot their common tricks and manipulation tactics. I'll share how to respond in ways that empower you rather than get hooked by their toxic texts. Knowledge is power. Let's get started. Love bombing. Texts. One of the first eye-opening patterns with narcissistic texters is excessive flattery and praise in the beginning of a relationship. They text you constantly, saying things like, "You're so perfect for me," or "I've never met anyone as amazing as you." This intense idealization is known as love bombing. It makes you feel like the most special person in the world. But be cautious. It's often just a self-serving manipulation technique narcissists use to quickly gain control. Once they feel they have you securely hooked with this constant praise and attention, the love bombing inevitably stops. The ghosting shift. Like a light switch flipping, a narcissist's frequent loving texts will suddenly turn to silence. You may text them and get no reply for days or even weeks. This ignoring tactic is called ghosting, and it's extremely jarring after the constant contact of the love bombing stage. The goal here is to create insecurity. They want you anxiously obsessing over why they aren't responding. It's a power play intended to make you chase them. Don't fall for it. Match their silence instead, and focus on yourself, not their games. Blame and criticism. When you dare confront a narcissist about their disappearing act, their texts will shift from no contact to outright hostility. They'll say things like, "You're so needy and clingy, I don't have time for this." Or, "Stop being so paranoid, I was just busy working." This blame shifting reveals their true manipulative intentions. Narcissists hate being called out. Their fragile egos can't handle truth or accountability. Expect them to lash out when confronted. It's meant to put you back in your place. Stay strong and don't react. Future faking. When a narcissist senses they are losing control over you, their texts will suddenly promise wonderful changes. "I'm sorry I've been distant. I'm going to be better," they pledge. "Please just give me one more chance," they plead. But it's all just lip service. A technique known as future faking. They make empty promises about change to keep you tied to them, but nothing is different. Judge them by their actions, not their words. Triangulation and provocation. Narcissists love stirring up emotions of jealousy and insecurity. They may mention connections with exes or attractive acquaintances. "My ex keeps texting me. It's so weird." Or they'll divulge private details to provoke you. "I told my friend all about your embarrassing secret." This is triangulation, making you feel like you have to compete for their love and loyalty. It puts you on the defense so they can label you controlling and jealous for questioning their motives. Recognize these underhanded games and disengage. Violating boundaries. Narcissists enjoy deliberately crossing boundaries just to prove they can. If you state, "Please give me space this weekend," expect a barrage of texts. If you ask them not to text after 9 p.m., your phone will ding at midnight. These intentional boundary violations reveal their true intentions. Your needs mean nothing to them. Keep enforcing your boundaries calmly and persistently. Let their reactions expose their disrespect, threats, and intimidation. When narcissists can't control you with their usual bag of tricks, they resort to threats and intimidation. "If you leave me, I'll spread lies about you." "I'm capable of really hurting you." Their threatening texts often escalate, leading up to discard. Though scary, these final desperation tactics mean you're breaking free of their grip. Document the threats, but don't otherwise engage. Set boundaries and keep your distance. Prioritize your safety above all else. Hoovering. After a blissful period of no contact, a narcissist will suddenly text something ambiguously friendly like "hey" or "thinking of you." This hoovering is intended to lure you back in for more devaluation. Do not take their bait. It never leads to anything positive. Their supposed change of heart or remorse will be short-lived. Responding only causes more pain. Maintain no contact and ignore their hoovering attempts. how to respond to narcissistic texts. Now that you know about narcissists' common texting tactics, here are some tips for responding in empowering ways. Ignore any texts trying to bait arguments or provoke you. Silence sends a clear message. State, "Do not contact me again" if they cross established boundaries, then block them. Keep necessary text responses unemotional and all about logistics. Don't get hooked. Turn off read receipts and don't feel pressured to instantly reply. Take away their power. Document toxic texts in case you eventually need evidence for legal action. Protecting your peace of mind is priority one. The less you engage, the less power their toxic texts will have over you. Signs of narcissistic texting. Wondering if a friend, partner, or family member displays narcissistic texting habits. Here are some red flags to watch for. They idealize you in texts, but are critical and controlling in real life. They violate your boundaries around when or how often to text. Their texts frequently provoke jealousy, arguments, or insecurity. They ignore direct questions and make conversations about them. They ghost occasionally, giving no response to your texts for days. They send superficial texts that lack emotional depth or vulnerability. Text exchanges consistently leave you feeling drained or confused. Trust your gut. If a texting relationship seems unhealthy, create some distance to prioritize your well-being. How to establishing text boundaries with narcissists. If cutting contact with a narcissistic texter isn't feasible, establish firm boundaries around the texting. Some boundaries could include limiting text conversations to essential logistics like scheduling. Avoid bonding conversations. Having an agreed-upon cutoff time each evening for non-urgent communications. Making large blocks of time. No texting zones, like weekends or mornings. The more you reduce emotional banter and keep things logistical, the less material they'll have to manipulate you with. Enforce your boundaries persistently yet calmly. Why narcissists text instead of talk? Narcissists prefer texting over talking because it allows them to manipulate without accountability. Some reasons why. They have time to carefully construct texts that provoke reactions. Lack of tone makes gaslighting easier. They can claim you misinterpreted. Ghosting on text asserts power and control. Love bombing is more effective on the constant texting channel, but while texting allows them to conveniently dodge responsibility, your gut knows their true intentions. Trust your instincts over their words. Healing. After text abuse. If you've been the victim of narcissistic text sabotage, be patient with yourself as you heal. Here are some suggestions. Turn off text notifications to avoid anxious awaiting. Portray their texts in a funny light to lessen their power. Laughter weakens manipulation. Block their number and delete old text to reduce painful reminiscing. Fill your newfound free time with activities that nurture your soul. The pain of text abuse fades with time and distance. Stay focused on your bright future, not their darkness. You deserve genuine connections free from manipulation. Prioritize your wellness. Everything meaningful awaits you beyond the narcissist's reach. Keep going. As we wrap up, I'd love to hear from you in the comments about your biggest takeaways. What narcissistic text patterns could you relate to most? How did you finally find the courage to create healthier boundaries around texting? Getting free of narcissistic abuse takes time, but sharing our lessons learned can help others know they aren't alone. The more we understand the manipulative games narcissists play, the faster we can heal. The stronger we become at detecting their tricks early and responding in empowering ways, the less power their toxic texts will have over us. Knowledge truly is power when it comes to overcoming narcissistic text abuse. I hope this video helped open your eyes to the dangerous texting tactics narcissists often use, so you can find peace. You deserve to feel safe, respected, and cared for by those you open your heart to. Now go embrace the meaningful connections waiting for you beyond the narcissist's reach. The best is yet to come.